What is happening, everybody? It is time for another live betting show here. We've got an NBA play-in game going on right now. So we're going to be looking at that a little bit. There's also baseball going on. We've got a little bit of hockey as well. So do me a favor, as you are coming in here, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Twitter, give me a follow there. All that. Very, very much appreciated. And also, within the tools, we've got a new feature here, which I'm pretty excited to make it a little bit simpler to live bets. We've gotten here now another break filter. So previously, if you guys have either watched this or used these tools, we've had in here the ability to filter out games when they're at break. So in between quarter, in between a period, at halftime, things like that. But now we've added in another filter where we're also going to have games that are at break for like a TV timeout or a coach's timeout, stuff like that. So just be another easy way to find some spots where the odds are a little bit more static and a little bit easier to find some value on. So right here, for instance, we've got right off the bat, let's see, we've got Cubs and Phillies, or maybe not. We had that line up there for a very brief split second. That was Cubs and Phillies to have a run scored in the 6th inning. So I really like this filter. I think it's to make it easier for us to find some bets from spots that are, not going to be moving quite as fast. Doesn't mean we also can't take advantage of some of the other games that are in action, but I do like to try to, if possible, bet some of the games where they're a little bit more static. Gives me a second to evaluate some of the bets. See, we're starting to get some people in here right now. Hello to you all. Thank you for tuning in for today. If you guys want to use the tools that I'm going to be using for myself here on stream, you use the promo code basketball50 over at Odd Shopper. That'll get you a free week and 50% off your first payment. So nothing at break right now. So I'm going to flip this to all games in action right now and see if there's anything we could pick off while it is moving here. So we've got, I only want to have FanDuel selected. I don't know why Bet Rivers is there. That was a mistake. I'll turn Bet Rivers off here so we're just seeing the FanDuel bets. Bet Rivers, one of my least favorite sports books in the entire world. Not in the state, not in the country, the entire world. Bet Rivers. They limited me to like less than $1 after using their book for 3 days. All right, so let's look at just the overall framework of what's happening in the Magic and 76ers game right now. As far as foul trouble is concerned, Paulo Banchero has 2 fouls already. And keep in mind, not only do we have 2 fouls in the first quarter for Paulo Banchero, though he's staying on the court through it right now, Franz Wagner, who presumably is going to be able to play a little bit more minutes than he's been playing recently, he is still on a minutes restriction. So I do think that Franz Wagner, we're probably going to see play, like under 30 minutes. So this bodes pretty well for potentially Tristan da Silva off the bench, maybe Jalen Suggs numbers, Desmond Bane's usage could benefit as well, because if Paulo Banchero is going to have his minutes limited at all due to foul trouble, and we already have Franz Wagner on an actual minutes restriction, then that's just going to set up a situation where there aren't that many guys to soak up usage for the Orlando Magic. So for sure, if we get a third personal foul on Banchero, that's something we're going to want to jump on. If you guys watched the show last night, 2 of the bigger plus money bets that we ended up hitting on the show, it was Tyler Hero over 1.5 threes and Andrew Wiggins over 2.5 threes. And why do we bet those? Beyond it just showing up as plus EV in the tools, there was another angle to it as well, which was we saw Bam Adebayo leave the game with an injury. And while we didn't know exactly if he was going to be in or out for the remainder of the game, if we already had bets that were projecting pretty well on the over, and there was a chance for him to look even better if Bam ended up not returning, which did end up happening, those bets were going to be looking pretty good. So I think there's something similar here with Paulo Banchero. If we see some overs on Desmond Bane or see some overs potentially on like Jalen Suggs, I'm going to be interested in them. Let's see, over 1.5 total runs in the 6th inning of the Giants and Reds game at plus 230 on FanDuel. Let's try to get this bet in to start us off. Hopefully we don't run into any location issues or anything like that. Nothing yet. Let's see if this one goes through for us okay. Verifying location still. Verify faster. There we go. $43 is the max bet. Okay. Got it in. And a pretty good week for live bets for us on the show here as well. Here is my ticket for live bets over the course of the week here. And if you guys ever want to check out my results for yourself, you can just go look me up on Pickett. But yeah, let's see here, been pretty profitable. Just under $700 in profit, 23% ROI, and the majority of these bets have been placed on these shows with you guys here. So hopefully you cashed in on some of these as well. Let's go back over to the projections. We'll hide this one. And yeah, nothing at break right now. We've got 2 minutes left in the first quarter of the 76ers and Magic game. Are all of the playing games on? Yeah, I guess all the playing games are on Amazon Prime. Even on Saturday, we've got, so Saturday, the first full playoff slate where it's not playing games. The first 3 games are on Amazon Prime, and the late night game is on ABC. Interesting. I didn't realize that Amazon Prime was going to be streaming that many of the NBA playoff games. I don't know about you guys, but the first day of the play-in games, I took like 15 minutes on YouTube TV looking through all the channels, couldn't figure out why I couldn't find the game, and it was because of the because it was on Amazon Prime. Mark Maston put the farm on Mets over 3. Mets team total over 3.5. Let's see, how are you doing so far? Congrats on the farm, by the way. Hopefully you're still owning it by the end of the night. All right, so the Mets game. Oh, okay, so that's the later night game. So you got 2 hours still until it starts. 2 hours until your entire farm is on the line. So good luck with that, Mark. You've got a tough matchup for the Mets. Shohei Ohtani on the mound. Hope it comes through for you. What odds did you get on it, by the way, Mark? Curious to know. What odds did you get on your farm bet on Mets over 3.5 against Shohei Ohtani? Let me know. If anybody else has any questions or comments for me, just throw them into the YouTube chat or on Twitter over the course of the show. I am always looking out for any of those. If you are a Stochastic sub watching in, or sorry, an Odd Chopper sub watching in Discord, you can tag me in Discord. I have that open as well. So I'll see any of those that come out. One sec, just going to share the link for my show here. All right, let's see what we got from Tom Olson. Tom, fervent supporter of Matt Olson is Tom Olson. On our Stochastic shows, we've always done home run picks on some of the baseball shows, and Tom Olson, I believe, has the record for picking Matt Olson to homer on something like 600 slates in a row. But Tom Olson here saying, if you could bet one farm on that, would you like 2 farms and a house plus 3 cows? That's a good question. If you're betting the farm, is it just the farm? Do you get to keep the cattle and whatnot that comes with it? Is the farm actually betting all the contents of the farm or just the acres of land? All right, nothing else in break at the moment. We've got 26 seconds left, though, so I don't want to change the filters because we've got 26 seconds left in the first quarter of Magic and the 76ers. So we should start to see this game go into break and then some bets showing up for that. Something kind of interesting, nobody directly in foul trouble for the 76ers, but VJ Edgecombe, Adem Bona, Paul George, and Kelly Oubre all have 1 personal foul in the first quarter, so that is notable. And then if you guys are just watching now and didn't hear this before, Paulo Banchero, 2 personal fouls on him. And then we've got 1 personal foul on Desmond Bane, 1 for Jamal Cain off the bench. It doesn't really matter at all. The most important thing to look at here is going to be Paulo Banchero with the 2 personal fouls. And then, of course, on the 76ers side of the game as well, no Joel Embiid for today. What do we got here? Ooh, Nationals plus 164 to get shut out. Well, that's gone now. Plus 134 for a run to be scored in the 7th inning of the Royals-Tigers game. All right, let's see if we can get this in right before the inning starts. Plus 134. I thought 134, right? 134, so that number's gone now. Didn't get in on that one. Let's see what else we've got here. I guess plus 124 is value now. Spencer Torkelson over 0.5 hits at plus 240. Here we go. Franz Wagner assists. under 3.5 at -110. We had Franz Wagner assist the other day, and it came through for us too. Even though we've got the potential foul trouble here for Paulo Banchero, I still like the under on assists for Franz Wagner. He played 6 minutes in the first quarter. I don't think we're going to see a crazy amount of playing time for him. Let's see, -112. What do we have? -123 as the fair odds. But it's giving me the location check issues. God damn. All right, -114. I'm still good with this. Let's see if we can get -114 in. There we go. All right, -114. Under 3.5 assists for Franz Wagner. Locked it in. It's playable up to -123. We've also got here Kelly Oubre. Under 3.5 threes at +188. He knocked down, he did knock down 4.5 threes. Moved around a little bit. That was a little wonky there. Oubre had 3 threes in the first quarter. I'm actually going to avoid this one. Kelly Oubre played the entire first quarter too and took 6 3-pointers. That one will be a note for me. Jalen Suggs under 14.5 points plus rebounds. That is plus money on FanDuel and minus money everywhere else. Let's see if we can get this one right here. As long as it's the plus money on Suggs. Not the plus money anymore. Let's see. I think there's a live boost bet here. So let's use it. $10. Sure. All right, so boosted that to +148. If you guys took advantage of the happy hour boost, which you should, there's no reason to not take advantage of them. Like the limits aren't super high, but $10, obviously super plus EV bet, something to take advantage of. Let's see what Eric has to say. Eric says he got a nice orb on the Stars Sabres game with a separate live bets 5 minutes apart. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. What's the score for that game right now? Let's see. 2-2. Pretty high scoring. What was it that you ended up betting, Eric? 2-2 halfway through the second quarter. Let's see. Dembona over 5.5 rebounds at +120. He only played 4 minutes in the first quarter, so I think we should see a little bit bigger rotation out of him here. 3.5 here. Super heavily juiced, so I'll probably avoid that one. Let's see, Braves -3.5, +182. Blue Jays and Brewers, another one -3.5, -350. Blue Jays -2.5 for the first 5 innings, +350. What's going on in that game? Let's see, Blue Jays. We've got. Is the MLB app started showing games like out of order for you guys? Here we go. +300 now. Yeah, so that those odds are gone. Pete, seems like a lot of FanDuel bets. Yeah, so for what I've started to do for the purpose of this show, just it's made things simpler. I am only using, because Pete says here, how many books am I using for live betting? When I'm doing the show, I'm just using FanDuel simply because it takes bets faster than all the other books, and it also just happens to let me get more money down, so that's also advantageous. But yeah, just because FanDuel is faster to process bets, I find for streaming, it's easier for me to just look at FanDuel. Let's see, what did Eric have? +1, yeah, I mean, that's sick. Live betting a hockey game that +160 one side of the money line, +110 on the other side. That'll win every time for you with a good return. Let's see, second quarter start. It did. The second quarter has started. Who is on the court here? So on the court, we've got for the Magic, Franz Wagner, Desmond Bane, Tristan da Silva, Anthony Black, and Goga Bitadze. For the 76ers, it is Kelly Oubre. Not only played the entirety of the first quarter, all 12 minutes, he started the third quarter. I mean, started the second quarter. He's going to start the third quarter too, but I'm not that far ahead in the future. Just saying that in general. So we've got here Kelly Oubre might be playing over 40 minutes today. So I'm happy I didn't take the under on that threes, considering that he's back in the game here. EMAC, what do we got here? Nerd-ass Greg secretly using 8 other books on his off-screen computer, phone, and iPad. DJ. Exactly. But no, really for me, if I wasn't streaming, then I'll have other books that I pull up. But I just in the first few shows I had, the bets did well, but there were times where we would have location issues. It would be difficult to get bets in. And just after troubleshooting different versions of the show, this seemed to be what worked the best and provided the most value. And also FanDuel is the book that in general most people use. So something everybody should be having access to. Also, if you guys haven't done it yet, like the video if you're watching on YouTube, give this a like if you're watching on Twitter. One other thing also, if you do want to sign up for the OddsShopper EV tools that I'm using here, you can use the promo code basketball50. That'll get you a free week and then 50% off your first payment after that. So if you just want to try the tools for a week, sign up with the promo code basketball50. And if you don't like them, you could cancel for the end of the week and you won't get charged anything. See what Jimmy V is saying. Jimmy's saying that he's found success recognizing the true odds are moderate to heavy favorites, minus 150, but then you're getting 30 cents or better off for the live odds, and even more so when it's plus odds. See, like, we just got, well, at least for a second, handful of bets. Those must have moved really fast. I wonder if FanDuel just moved faster than all the other books and had lines for that Rays game that looked good for a second, but then every other book caught up, because that was there for like a millisecond. Rays are up 2-0 going into the bottom of the second inning there. Let's go back to looking at all the games here. I'll turn the at break filter off. Once again, if you guys are just tuning in now, we do have a new filter to show all the games at timeout breaks in addition to the in-between quarter breaks and whatnot. Let's see. Dembona over 4.5 points. I like that line. Where did it go? I'm going to bet plus money on a Dembona over 4.5 points. He's only played 4 minutes so far. He's got 2 points. Presumably he's going to be checking in somewhat soon here in place of Andre Drummond. We still get the plus 110. Plus 108 now. What do we have this playable up to? Up to plus 101. There we go. All right, I'll take it. A Dembona plus money for over 4.5 points. Just need 2 more buckets out of Bona. Who doesn't like Bona? 4 minutes played so far with 2 points and a rebound. And it's not like the 76ers were bad in his minutes either. They had a positive plus minus with him on the court. So I think we're probably going to be seeing a Dembona check into the game in like 2-3 minutes, something like that. All right, lots of lines up for the basketball game here. Tristan da Silva over 0.5 threes. I saw that up there for a sec. Anthony Black over 8.5 points. One problem with Anthony Black is he typically plays around 20 minutes, and he's already at 7 minutes in the first half. So I would assume the next TV break, he's probably going to check out of the game. So I'm going to avoid that one. I'm going to avoid that. EMAC, thanks for the message. I have the wrong microphone selected. It'll be gone in a second. Test. Thank you, Emac. I appreciate it. This should sound much better. I need to have your old pal. Desmond Bain over 2.5 threes. Tristan Da Silva plus 110 to have 1 3. He did just check out of the game, though. So I think FanDuel, a lot of times for substitutions, FanDuel is kind of ahead of the market. We do have Franz Wagner out now. Yeah, so Franz Wagner out, Tristan Da Silva out, Jalen Suggs and Paulo Banchero in. All right, let's go back to the, see if there's any games at break for us. Not at the moment. Nothing at break. Let's go to the ARB tool. Are there anything that's standing out here versus some of the liquidity on prediction markets? Look in game. No, not really. Let's see if anybody is betting on DraftKings right now. Kind of like that Wendell Carter Jr. line for over 11.5 rebounds on DraftKings. So that's playable if you guys are logged into DraftKings right now. Tom Olson, Trout is going to win MVP. Guy just can't be stopped. Potentially. I mean, here's the problem. Here's what stops Mike Trout. His health. It's hard to bank on. It's hard to reliably say that we think he's going to stay healthy. What I really want to happen, I can't remember if I said this the other day when we were betting on, what was it? The Monday show, we bet on Mike Trout to homer. And what I had said, or at least what I thought at the time, what I want to have with Mike Trout, I want him to have a really good year, stay healthy, and get traded to a contender midway through the year. How dare you put that evil out there? Just kind of a reality. Ooh. Minus 162 for under a run in the 7th inning in the Tigers-Royals game. Minus 162. And off the board. Too bad, because that was a way different line on FanDuel compared to every other book. I don't know if you guys saw that. FanDuel had it minus 162, and every other book had it at like minus 250 or worse or something like that. But FanDuel pulled it pretty quick. How much time do we have in the first half of the Magic 76ers game here? Still a decent amount of time left. Bona just checked in, so I feel really good about our bet now. With Bona checking in now, he's probably finishing the first half, which means 7 more minutes out of Bona. He's already at 2 points. If we get 1 more bucket out of Bona, we're looking pretty good heading into halftime for over 4.5 points at plus money. Let's see, Paulo Banchero, any more fouls for him there? He's still at 2. VJ Edgecombe is at 2 personal fouls. That's something to keep an eye on. If Edgecombe picks up another foul, that would benefit probably Quentin Grimes a little bit off the bench. We could see him play some more minutes. Tight rotation for the 76ers. They're only running an 8-man rotation, and Kelly Oubre is finally checked out, but he's already up to 15 minutes. So I guess they'll give Oubre a blow for like 2 minutes and then have him check back in. And then we'll get Oubre somewhere around 20 minutes played in the first half. Big workload for him. I'm going to flip the other filter. Go back to the all-in-game bets. See if there's anything good we could find in the basketball game. Oh, 76ers just called a timeout. All right. Well, Oubre over 16.5 points. Considering what I just said about Oubre, I want to bet Oubre over 16.5 points at plus money. I mean, he just appears to be a massive, massive part of them playing a tight rotation today.
He's also already up to 9 points, which helps as well. So we're looking for like 7 points out of Kelly Oubre we're looking for 8 points out of Kelly Oubre in what's probably going to be like 24 minutes or so. Let's see, what are we going to get more out of Kelly Oubre? Probably something like that. 24 more minutes, 25 minutes, something like that. I like that one. Franz Wagner to not hit a 3. I'll bet this as well if we could get it in. Plus 154 for no 3 for Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner is not a good 3-point shooter. Hasn't even attempted one so far. Line went down to plus 148, which sucks because that's not really playable anymore. I'll just have to check my location before we go back to the bets page and try to get something in. All right. Paul George under 9.5 rebounds plus assists. He's probably about to check back in. I will avoid that. He's at 4 assists. He's only played 12 minutes so far. FanDuel's usually a little bit better about figuring out some of those rotation things than other books. Marlins under 1.5 runs plus 188. What's going on with them? I see. They've got runners on first and second right now with 1 out. A little dicey. If Paul George doesn't check in out of the timeout here, which I'm pretty confident he's going to, if he doesn't, I'll bet this. I guess I'll load it now. Well, the line moved anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anthony Black over 0.5 threes, plus 140. He just checked out, though. So I'll stay away from that. We've got Anthony Black off the court. Let's see if any of the hockey games or anything are at a timeout. Check on that. Basketball game's moving fairly slow. I feel like it was at 7 minutes, 10 minutes ago. Yeah, nothing at break. Let's go back to all the games again. All right, let's look through some of these baseball games. Is there anything that stands out? Giants, Reds, total runs in the 7th inning, under 1.5. Over 0.5 runs at plus money in the 8th inning of the Giants, Reds game. We shouldn't see high leverage relievers coming in the game. Game's 8-3. Going into the bottom of the 7th right now. So we're not likely to see the best relievers come in for either of the teams here. Plus 112. Probably avoid it at that number. Oh, no, never mind. Plus 112 is still playable. My bad. All right. Let's see if we can get this bet in. I hope so, because I kind of misread the number there for a second. Fuck. Yeah, it's plus 104 now. All right. Let's see. What do we have here? Omega 2K1. Hey, Greg, in the filters, what do I have set for strategy? Sure. So here's what I have for my filters here. So for, I don't really change, like, I don't change very much of the stuff. I do change the EV range, just put it at a minimum of 3. That'll filter out some of the really low EV bets. There's usually plenty of pretty high ones that show up. Also, I prefer to have the games at break filter on, but sometimes there just are no games at break. So if there are no games at break and it's kind of like that for a little bit, then I'll go to the all-in game bets. But when I can, I just go to the all games at break and just hope that I find some of those. For me, I just find it kind of easiest to analyze some of those bets and put a little bit of thought into its plus EV, what book has it plus EV, why do I think it's plus EV, and then do I actually want to take action on it? If I'm just trying to use the all-in-game bets, then it's kind of a free-for-all in terms of just what can I get in before the lines move. And, you know, just by the nature of how quickly some of them move, it's a little bit harder to do while the games are actually in action. Well, let's try this one right here. Under pretty high EV, under 209.5 plus 255. See if we can get this one in before it moves. We cannot. Pretty big move there from plus 255 to plus 220. Those are some of my favorite ones to try to bet live, is some of the, you're welcome, Omega 2K1. Some of my favorite ones to bet live are some of the unders on game totals that are pretty substantial plus money. Uh, 42-40 now in the basketball game, by the way. No more points for Dembona yet. Make a bucket, my guy. Still 5 minutes left in the first half. Let's see what else we've got here. Dominic Barlow over 4.5 points. What is this the money line of? Magic money line plus 200. Money line of what? Money line for... Well, it's plus 1. Okay, so that was the first half money line. Plus 142, plus 150, plus 154. All right, well, that is not the plus 200 number. VJ Edgecombe under 10.5 points. What was that? Assists plus rebounds at plus money. Stupid location check. Plus 108. Let's see, did it say verify my location now? Oh, here. Verifying. Verified. All right. Let's see. Under 10.5 plus 116. Playable up to minus 121. I see. He just got an assist, and FanDuel's ahead of that compared to the other books. That is what is happening there. Quentin Grimes over 8.5 points. Also just checked out. Well, that's disappointing. Bona checked out and Drummond came in. I thought Bona was gonna get a little bit longer of a leash, so I was wrong on that rotation. CJ the Great, any home run picks for late games? So here's one of the problems with that. For baseball, what do we have? We've got Mariners, Padres, Rangers, A's, Mets, Dodgers. There's only 3 late games. I don't think I don't think I placed any home run bets for those games off the top of my head, unfortunately. If I see something come up here, then I'll bring it to your attention. But I don't want to just force a bet if I don't actually have anything. See if there's anything at break here. Ooh, 2 fouls on Paul George. So that is 2 fouls on George, 2 fouls on Edgecombe, 2 fouls on Quentin Grimes, and 3 fouls on Dominic Barlow. So not only are the 76ers shorthanded, but lots of guys picking up fouls. For the Magic, we've got 2 fouls on Boncaro. Nobody else has multiple fouls. Three and a half minutes left in the first half of Magic and 76ers. Aaron saying the Cubs woke up. Yeah, what's going on there in the Cubs game? Yeah, they did. It is 9-1. They have 6 runs in the last 2 innings. Let's see. Under 205.5 plus 390. Under 209.5 plus 390. That is gone. It is plus 350 now. So not quite fast enough on that one. Tristan Da Silva, 3-point line. It keeps growing. Boncaro can just get one more foul. Yeah, Barlow. See right here, this is a scenario where Barlow, like FanDuel, I think is more appropriately pricing that he's 3 personal fouls than the other books. 76ers minus 6.5. Let's see. Nice. Bucket for Kelly Oubre that gets him up to 11. Minus 6.5 for the game, plus 200. Yeah, that is below the break-even point now that it's moved a little bit. So we have what? Kelly Oubre over 16.5 points at plus money, and he is at 11 now with 3 minutes left in the first half, and is on pace to play 40 minutes. Feel pretty good about that. See if we could try this one now. Under 206.5 and plus 520. So we're looking for plus 520 here. Ooh, still there. Nice. That one processed fast as well. So all total here, under 206.5 plus 520. I think the fair line was about plus 460 in our projections. Yeah, plus 469. All right, I'm happy with that. Franz Wagner plus 134 to not hit a 3. We tried to bet him to not hit a 3 before, and then the odds moved before we could take it. Let's try again. Plus 134. No 3s for Franz. We also got the game under, so now we're just rooting for nobody to really do anything at this point. Yeah. Cool. Only person allowed to score points the rest of the way is Kelly Oubre. Get 6 more points out of him, and then they call it a game. FanDuel really wants people to bet on Bona. They were more correct about the rotation there than I was. Tristan Da Silva, too. Da Silva, who has not attempted a 3 in this game. Let me check something out really quick. What was the playing time like in recent games for Tristan Da Silva? Boy, he has not been shooting the 3 well. 28%, making under 1 per game for the month here. But also notable, as Franz Wagner's still limited, but as he's played at least marginally more, Tristan Da Silva's minutes have been like around 20. Franz Wagner under 11.5 points at plus money. I'll bet this. Plus 102 for under 11.5 points. Limited minutes for Franz today. And then on top of it as well, he has 2 personal fouls right now. Let's see, Maple Leaf Senators. Where'd that go? Over 2.5 goals in the second period. So that game probably in the middle of the second period. Yeah. It is. EMAC. Suggs no bueno with 0 for 3 and 3 PRA. I'm trying to remember, did we end up getting in the... I know we tried to bet the Suggs. Sometimes I forget when I'm doing these shows. I'll know what bets we tried to bet. I don't remember if we did or didn't get them in. At one point, we tried to bet an under on Jalen Suggs. I can't remember if we got it in before the line moved or not. Anthony Black over 3s. Tristan DeSilva over 3s. Tristan DeSilva over points. FanDuel really wants people. They're really looking to take action on Tristan DeSilva. Yankees Angels under 9.5 runs. Gleyber Torres over 2.5 hits at plus 650. I assume he's at 2 right now. He is. I think the problem with this, though, is there's a pretty good chance. Bottom of the 8th inning. 1 out. Yeah, he might not come up again. So that'll be a no for me. Yeah, you've got Jake Rogers up with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. So if Rogers and McGonigal both get up, then yeah, it would be shit out of luck there. EMAC, I do not believe I had him pregame. Gotcha. Angels over 7.5 runs plus 490. Oh, Hoppy just got out there. Magic minus 9.5. Quentin Grimes over 9.5 points. Just 1:48 left to go here in the first half. So we should be getting the first half break fairly soon here. And then we'll be able to flip on the filter to just show the bets at break. And should be able to find a few that way before we wrap up. We'll preempt this here. Although you never know. Oh, nice. Three personal fouls on Franz Wagner. Nice. That bodes very well for our Franz unders. That is very nice. So we have Franz under 0.5 threes. What was it? Under 3.5 assists? Or maybe it was under 4.5 assists and under 11.5 points. And Franz is at 2 points, 3 personal fouls, and is on a minutes restriction here. These are all good things. Braves under 3.5 runs at plus 132. Kanan for Wagner. Let's see what's going on with the Braves. Braves are at... Doesn't matter. The line moved to minus 130. So it don't matter. All right, we'll leave this on. It's just a minute 24 left in the basketball game. Magic up 53-52. So as a reminder for all of the situations that we should be keeping an eye on as we go into halftime, Franz Wagner has 3 fouls. Kind of interesting that Kane, instead of De Silva, is the guy who's getting the additional minutes in place of Wagner. The reason I mostly find it interesting is for a lot of the year, when Franz Wagner was hurt, it was Tristan De Silva who was starting in his place. But for whatever reason, whether it's because Kane's playing well today or if it's because they just like the matchup for him, it's Kane who's playing the minutes in place of Franz Wagner in foul trouble here. On the 76ers side of the game, crazy fouls for Philly. 3 on Dominic Barlow, 2 on Quentin Grimes, 2 on Kelly Oubre, 2 on Paul George, 2 on VJ Edgecombe, and 2 on Tyrese Maxey. So if anybody else picks up a foul on the 76ers prior to the end of the half, that is definitely something that's going to be notable. 50 seconds left to go here. 76ers up 56-53. And Jalen Suggs just picked up his second foul. How many fouls are in this game? So we've got 11 fouls on the Magic and 14 on the 76ers. All right. Let's check for questions. You guys have any questions for me in the YouTube chat? Nothing in Discord at the moment. And nothing in Discord. Checking Twitter. Ooh, Giants money line plus 7,500. They're getting destroyed, are they not? 8-3. 8-3, and it's going into the... yeah, that'll be a no for me. 8-3, and it's going into the bottom of the 8th inning. I'm going to assume they just grounded into a double play it was Matt Chapman lined into a double play to end the inning. FanDuel was probably just a little bit more ahead of that than everybody else. Foul on Andre Drummond, Wendell Carter Jr. shooting free throws. So we're probably going to get what here to close the half? A shot around 30-second mark for the 76ers to try to get a 2-for-1. And then we'll start to see some of the bets pop up here. Oh, Drummond to 3 for the 2-for-1. Okay. Drummond's gotten okay with corner threes. What did he shoot on them this year? Now we're at halftime. Drummond this year... he shot 36% from 3 on corner threes. It's respectable. All right. Anthony Black. This bet has been up here for a minute. Kind of interesting. FanDuel has a favorable line on him for over 0.5 threes, but a favorable line for under 6.5 points. The biggest concern I have with the under on points for Anthony Black is you've got 3 fouls on Franz Wagner, 2 fouls on Paulo Banchero, 2 fouls on Jalen Suggs. Anthony Black had 3 points in the first half. It just wouldn't take that much for him to get extra minutes and then get to, 4 points in the second half. All right, let's see what else we could get here. Magic minus 3.5. Well, that's gone. Desmond Bane over 2.5 threes plus 188. I'll bet this. Only 1 3-point attempt by Desmond Bane in the first half. He did make it, but $79 the max plus 182. Let's see, what is this playable to? Plus 1. It's dropping fast. Yeah, now it's not plus EV. Too bad. That's the exact fair line we have is plus 174. So I don't want to play it at plus 174. The Anthony Black 3-point line keeps going up. It does have a very high EV projection now. All right. Let's bet the Anthony Black. Just 1-3 in the second half from Anthony Black. I do like this better than the Anthony Black. Looks like I have a bonus bet. All right, let's use this on Anthony Black. All right, plus 146. We had a playable up to plus 111 on Anthony Black. I'm good with that. All right, what else? Point spread or not? Interesting. Nothing else from that game. Oh, here we go. Jalen Suggs. Oh, here's... The lines are moving abnormally fast for halftime here. Jalen Suggs over 3.5 assists, plus 104. I'll bet that. If we could get the plus money on it. If they verify our location here. Nice. All right, we got plus 104 on Jalen Suggs. Playable there. We have the fair line of minus 104. Anything plus money, I feel good about there with Jalen Suggs relative to our projections. Anthony Black, I am going to avoid this line here because it looks like it's kind of getting skewed by one book, just having a way different line on Anthony Black. Magic minus 5.5 plus 350. Let's see, is this for the game or for the second half? Minus 5.5 plus 350 for the game. We have this playable up to plus 332. We just checked my location. Why do we have to check it again? So many guys with fouls on the 76ers too. All right. Yeah, I'm avoiding this Anthony Black rebound prop. So I think that's going to do it for us here, guys. If you have not done yet, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Here have been our results for live bets on the show so far this week. We've made just under $700. So hopefully we have another good night for today. I like some of the positions that we have. If you haven't done it, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter, like this post if you haven't already. And then also, if you do want to sign up for the tools I used on the show for yourself to bet these lines for the rest of the night, you can use the promo code basketball50. That is going to get you 50% off an OddsShopper Pro subscription. Get access to our live EV tools, our pregame EV tools, our arbitrage tool, our in-game arbitrage tool. 50% off with promo code basketball50. It also gets you a free week if you're trying it for the first time. Other than that, guys, have a great night. Good luck with all your bets. And, tomorrow night, actually, I was going to say we'll be back tomorrow. I don't think there's games tomorrow night. Yeah, so there's no basketball games, and even baseball is really thin. So, yeah, there's only 2 night baseball games tomorrow. So probably no show tomorrow, but Friday, I will be on NBA Live Before Lock on Friday. So see you guys Friday on the DFS show if you want to check that out. So see you guys then. Good luck.